April 9th, Day 3, 11:44 a.m. Upon my attempt at leaving the storage unit, I stumbled across something that has thrown me for a loop. Needless to say, I have not yet left to deal with my car and to get new supplies, as I've been held captive by my new finding. I'm not sure how to explain this to anyone, much less myself, as I'm still trying to figure out exactly what it means and how it is even possible for this evidence to exist. First, I should start by explaining the circumstances in which I found this evidence before I can even attempt to explain what it is. Located on the desk in Glendale's storage unit was an old hat box. You know, one of those boxes that they use to store formal top hats in. It looked very old, as if it was from the 1920s or so, and it seemed a bit out of place on Glendale's desk, which is why it caught my eye upon leaving. When I opened the box, my first impression was that this was someone's collection of junk that was meant to be thrown away at some time, but possibly got pushed back to the back of the closet somewhere and forgotten. In the box was a bunch of old photos in a glass jar that was so discolored that I could not even see through it. So I opened the glass jar and found something most disgusting. The jar contained 8 teeth, but that's not even the strange part. The strange thing is that they had been obviously been extracted professionally by someone in the medical field. Why would I have come to this conclusion? Well, you see, the teeth in the jar still had the roots and the nerves still attached. From the top of the teeth to the end of the nerves measured about 6 inches, and they were still a little bit bloody and fresh, as if they were only taken out a few days ago. Now, I can only assume they were extracted professionally, as I've never seen teeth with nerve still attached. I can't imagine the pain this person must experience during the extracting, if they were still alive. For their sake, I sure hope they were not. I'm not a medical professional, but I know enough to know that the nerves do not just come out with the teeth when you pull them. This means that whoever extracted them had to cut through the gums in order to get the nerves to stay with the teeth. Of course, this is a very unpleasant find, and I would hate to be the one that this happened to. So after examining the teeth, I returned them to the jar. Then I turned my attention to the photos. These photos were black and white photos in what appears to be some sort of old laboratory. One you might see in a horror movie and not find in a professional facility, even in the past or current day. The photos showed a very dirty and dingy lab with old arcane equipment. The lab looked very chaotic in design and not at all sanitary by medical means. There were about a dozen or so of these photos of the lab, and then there was a photo that turned my whole world upside down. The photo I speak of opens a door that I'm not sure can ever be closed. Not to mention, it brings everything about this case and how I came to be the agent chosen to investigate it to a whole new level of mystery and confusion for me. You see, this photo was of me. Yes, me. I'm strapped to a chair in the same old laboratory from the other photos. You can imagine my shock and confusion upon finding this photo, as I don't remember any event in my life where this photo could have ever been taken. In fact, judging from the type of film paper used for the photo, I would place the photo to have been taken somewhere between the 20s and 30s. But that would be impossible. I was not born until the 1970s, and this photo has me to be around the same age that I am now. I mean, it's almost like the photo was taken yesterday, or possibly even a few days from now. And the clothes that I'm wearing in the photo is something that I was actually planning on getting from my apartment once I arrived there. What is even stranger about this is how did it come to be in the hands of Agent Glendale? And is it really a coincidence that I would be handed the investigation of his disappearance? This is impossible to contemplate. How can this be? I really need to take a few minutes to think about what this means and figure out what to do with this newfound information. I just don't think it can get any stranger than this. 36-427.